I was married for 41 years, and I didn't realize my wife was lonely until the doctor told us she was dying. Her last words weren't, "I love you." They were, "I wish we'd been brave." And that sentence destroyed me. I'm 73 years old, and I need to tell you something before it's too late for you too. My name is Robert. For 41 years, I was married to a woman named Sarah. Everyone said we had the perfect marriage. Nice house in Connecticut. 2 kids who went to good colleges. I had a solid career as an accountant. We never fought much, never had drama. We were comfortable. That word. Comfortable. I thought it meant we'd made it. I thought it meant we were happy. Every morning I'd wake up at 6. Sarah would already be in the kitchen, making coffee. I'd grab my cup, kiss her on the cheek, same spot, same quick peck, and head to work. Every single day. For 41 years, I'd come home at 6:30. Dinner would be ready. We'd eat. I'd watch the news. She'd read her book. We'd go to bed. Weekends, I'd golf with my buddies. She'd do her garden club thing. We lived in the same house, but emotionally, we were strangers. I thought that was what marriage became. I thought the butterflies were for young people. I thought deep conversations were for the movies. Real life, I told myself, was about being responsible. Providing. Maintaining. I never asked her about her dreams anymore. Never asked what made her sad. Never asked if she was happy. Last September, Sarah got sick. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. The doctor said maybe 3 months. And in those final months, everything I thought I knew fell apart. Because Sarah started talking, really talking. And what she told me changed everything. The first week after the diagnosis, I took time off work. Something I'd rarely done in 41 years. I sat beside Sarah's bed, and the silence between us felt heavier than ever. Then one afternoon she looked at me and asked, "Robert, when did we stop being us?" I didn't understand. "What do you mean? We're fine, honey." "We've always been fine." She smiled, but her eyes were so sad. "That's the problem. We've been fine. Just fine." Over the next weeks, Sarah began sharing things I never knew. She told me about the novel she'd wanted to write but never did because she thought I'd find it silly. She told me about the painting classes she'd stopped attending because I'd made one comment about them being expensive. She told me about the trips she'd dreamed of taking, not fancy cruises, just small adventures to places that meant something to her. "I waited for you to ask," she whispered one night. "I waited for you to see me." Really see me? My throat felt tight. "Sarah, I saw you every day." "No," she said gently. "You saw the woman who had dinner ready. The woman who kept the house nice. The woman who didn't cause problems. But Robert, did you ever see me? The person inside?" I wanted to argue. I wanted to defend myself. But sitting there, holding her thin hand, I realized she was right. I'd spent 41 years with a woman I'd stopped being curious about. "Tell me now," I begged. "Tell me everything, please." And she did, but 3 weeks later she was gone. Her last words, "I wish we'd really lived, Robert. I wish we'd been brave." After the funeral, I found something that explained everything. Sarah had asked me to bring her something from the attic before she died, a blue box she'd kept stored away. Inside were journals. Dozens of them, 41 years worth. "I want you to read these after I'm gone," she'd said. "Promise me." After everyone left the funeral, I sat alone in our empty house and opened the first journal. January 1983. The year we married. Robert surprised me with flowers today. He remembered I loved daisies. I feel so seen by him, so loved. "I hope we never lose this," I cried. I remembered that version of myself. The guy who noticed things, who tried. I kept reading. Years passed in those pages. Our kids being born. Promotions. Moving to the bigger house. And slowly, I watched Sarah disappear. Robert worked late again. I know he's providing for us, but I miss him. I wanted to tell Robert about my day, but he seemed tired. Maybe tomorrow. Sometimes I feel invisible. The entries grew shorter, more distant. By the 2010s, weeks would pass without writing. But then, last year, she started writing again. Long entries. Raw, honest. And what I read broke me completely. The last entries were different. They told the truth I'd been too blind to see. The doctor confirmed it today. 3 months, maybe 4. I'm scared, but I also feel regret. Not about dying. About not living. I had to stop, breathe, but I kept reading. I'm angry at myself for waiting, for thinking love meant being quiet, for believing that being a good wife meant never asking for more. I taught my daughter to shrink herself. I hate that, then, but I'm angry at Robert too. 41 years, and he never asked. Never wondered why I stopped painting. Never noticed when I stopped laughing. He was content with the surface. We're both guilty. The final entry, 2 days before she died. I told Robert the first wish we've been brave. Being brave isn't grand gestures. It's asking hard questions. Saying, I need more. Saying, I see you're hurting. It's choosing connection over comfort. Every single day, I hope he tells someone. I hope someone listens. I closed the journal and understood. She'd given me a message, a painful, precious gift, and I had to share it. Because I see couples everywhere making our mistake? I'm recording this in our living room. The same room where we spent 41 years barely talking about what mattered. I made calls after reading those journals. Our daughter first. I told her everything. Apologized for the example I'd set. We talked for 4 hours. Really talked. Then my son. My brother. Friends. I told them Sarah's message. And now I'm telling you. Love isn't automatic. It doesn't maintain itself. You can't just live in the same house and call it a marriage. Love is choosing to see your partner every day, to ask real questions, to stay curious, to be vulnerable. It's saying, how are you really? And waiting for the real answer. It's noticing when they get quiet and asking why. It's choosing difficult conversations over easy silence. I see couples everywhere on their phones instead of talking. Sitting in silence, existing side by side but miles apart. Everyone thinks they have time. We'll reconnect when things slow down. When the kids are older, when work calms down. But life doesn't slow down. It ends. After Sarah died, I took that trip to Maine she'd always wanted. I stood on her childhood beach, scattered her ashes there, and I cried because we should have done this together. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I'm 73. I don't have another 41 years, but maybe you do. So go home tonight and really look at your partner. Ask them something you've never asked. Tell them something you've held back. Because comfortable is the enemy of connection. Comfortable is how you wake up realizing you've spent decades with a stranger. Be curious, be present, be brave. Do it today, not tomorrow. Sarah taught me, it's never too early to start really loving someone, but it can absolutely be too late. Now go. Go really see the person you love. Thank you for listening.